Oddly enough, some people still run Windows, and occasionally we'd like our computers to understand each other, at least enough to share files between Ubuntu and Windows. In this video, I'll demonstrate how to share files with a Windows computer using Samba and Ubuntu. So first off, let's open up a terminal and make sure we have Samba installed. So we can use sudo apt-get install Samba. So Samba is the utility that lets us communicate or share files with a Windows network. Now, I've already have it installed, so it tells me Samba is already at the newest version. And then I want to install a tool called system-config-samba. This will give us a graphical user interface to configure Samba. Be a little easier than trying to edit the config files from the command line. So I've also installed this previously, so it shows up here, the newest version. When installing it on your own, it'll only take a few minutes to install Samba and system-config-samba and its dependencies. Now we can run sudo system-config-samba. This will bring up a GUI. And I already have a share here, which I'm going to delete. And I'm going to re-add it so you can see what I've done. So what I do is I click this plus icon to add a Samba share. I browse for the directory I'd like to share. In this case, I'm going to share documents from my home folder. And I'm going to make it writable and visible. And access, I'm going to allow everyone to access. This is not the most secure way of sharing, but it's a sure way to test that our share is working. So once I hit OK, it'll create the share. And I can close Samba server configuration. And I'll make sure it's restarted, so I could do sudo smbd for the Samba daemon, smbd restart. So now, since I'm running Ubuntu in a virtual machine inside of a Windows computer, I can just go over to my Windows desktop and bring in my Explorer window. So this is the file explorer from Windows that I'm overlaying on top of my Ubuntu virtual machine. So you can see here, I have 4 computers. I'll refresh my network view. I have 4 computers on my Windows network, DBC, Raspberry Pi device that's connected to the network, SS-VB, which is my initials, -VirtualBox. So this is the server, my Ubuntu server. And then this WebDev1 server is another web server I use for development that's also on the network. So if I go into SSVB, double click it, it shows that documents is shared like I set in my Samba config tool. So I double click on documents and there's another file.txt and some file.txt. So if I go back to Ubuntu and click on the file explorer, go to documents, the same 2 files are listed here. So I'll put it in list view. So the same 2 files as we saw in our Windows view. And that's all there is to it to get up and running with Samba and sharing files between Ubuntu and Windows. And that'll conclude this introduction to file sharing in Ubuntu.